career for not if she wouldn't lie down and have Ezra Miller land on Wonder Woman's breasts, which is also really a trademark on Joss Whedon's films and also in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So for those aspects, like that's really kind of like a trademark in Joss Whedon's films and work as well, like a man landing on a woman's breasts. You can also see it in like I said, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers: Age of Ultron, and also Avengers as well. So, yeah, where was I? Joss threatened the career of another person associated with the production. And Toby was made aware and tried to cover for Whedon rather than deal with the abuse. That situation had to be escalated to Kevin Sujihara to get any results. So really, like, once again, like, this is, like, there was also a lot of big commotion over there on that as well. Like, so, yeah. While questions on the legitimacy of his claims, Fisher has made it very clear that they should not. These things affected many people across various departments. Warner Brothers Pictures has tried to make it seem as if these issues are mine and mine alone, as we have clearly seen with what's been going on. I brought a number of these witnesses that have been avoided or in some cases ghosted during the investigation process. Now, for those who don't know what ghosted means, it means like completely ignored or just like completely not looked at all. Warner Brothers knows they full and well my claims are credible and they're just scrambling, which they are. They are at this point. And they're just scrambling. And now we go into the conversation between Ray Fisher, Walter Hamada, and WB's statement. They show a tweet saying, and this tweet said, so you can better understand how deep this goes. After speaking out about Justice League, I received a phone call from the president of DC Films, wherein he attempted to throw Joss Whedon under the bus and John Berg as well, in hopes that I would relent on Jeff Johns. I will not. Accountability is greater than entertainment. And on September 4th, the Cyborg actor took to Twitter once again to explain how the studio had been handling the dispute. Thus far, the actor detailed the call between himself and Walter Hamada, president of DC Films. In it, he alleged that Hamada tried to get Fisher to relent on Johns. The tweet sparked the tweets Warner Brothers put in out their first official statement. In the statement, the studio's spokesperson said that basically they didn't have a conversation at all, and Hamada had no involvement. So, yeah. The studio went on to say that Fisher was declined to speak to an investigator and was basically not complying at all. Fisher, infuriated by the statement, told Forbes that the statement was a double-edged sword that helped him as much as the studio attempted to discredit him, which it did. The hit piece that Warner Brothers picture that WB put out on me on September 4th was meant to isolate me, and it ended up having the opposite effect. More people ended up reaching out and offering their support. Yes, that actually did happen. So, yeah, that fell flat on WB's part. Fisher saw this as a clear pattern of behavior from the studio and made him even more focused on continuing to speak out. Warner Brothers WB has been receiving a lot of bad press recently for their mishandling on HR and third-party investigations. Unfortunately, the Justice League investigation has been no different. After Justice League massively underperformed at the box office, a sizable shift in Warner Brothers brass followed, with Jeff Johns and John Berg removed from their positions and replaced by Hamada. While Hamada was not present during the production of Justice League, Fisher went into further detail about the disappointment with the DC Films president regarding the investigation process. Walter Hamada chose to insert himself into the situation by trying to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus, who he reinstated. He had a long-standing work relationship with Johns and a even longer relationship with Toby Emmerich from their time with their time together at New Line Entertainment. And really, as you can see, he's stating that there is a friendship between those two. Fisher stressed the connection between Emmerich and Hamada to explain how deep the studio politics go to protect each other. Emmerich made Hamada the president of DC Films, and Johns is providing content for Hamada to produce. So really there a tit for tat. It stands to reason that he should have a vested interest in trying to protect them both. Hamada did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Fisher cited the statement from Warner Brothers to make his point clear after his tweet about Hamada, and used it as a goalpost for how things would have been if he spoke about Emmerich at the time. You see what WBPR who tried to do to me after I alluded to Walter Hamada. Now imagine what would have happened if I named the chairman of the company instead of Hamada. WB would have used every bit of PR they had to try to stomp me out of and protect Toby Emmerich. Yes, they absolutely would have tried that. They absolutely would have. Hold on real quick. And I'm back. Fisher has not been the only cast member to make his voice heard. And on September 14th, Aquaman star Jason Momoa took a strong stand in support of his fellow JL cast member. Momoa took to Instagram slamming Warner Brothers. This stuff has to stop, and it needs to be looked at. Ray Fisher and everyone else who experienced what happened under the watch of WB Pictures needs proper investigation, Momoa wrote in all caps. I just think it's effed up that people released a fake Frosty announcement that, without my permission, to try to distract from Ray Fisher speaking up about the messed up way we were treated on Justice League reshoots. Momoa continued, serious stuff went down. It needs to be investigated, and the people need to be held accountable. Hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher. Aloha, Jake. The Frosty the Snowman remark was a direct reaction and an exclusive by Deadline, where the studio announced John Berg and Johns, both directly implicated by Ray Fisher in the day, was working with Momoa to create a live-action adaptation of the Snowman. Speaking of which, has there been any updates on that recently? Ray Fisher was grateful to Momoa and the many castmates that come to his side, though he wished he could have handled the situation privately without impacting them or their careers. Jason really came through when he denounced that fake Frosty the Snowman news. I know that had to have shaken them up. Fisher continued a lot of ways in hold up news Jay's a lot of folks from the cast and crew reached out to show their support. Some expected and some less so. I tried my best to handle things privately, so to let HR process play, but the only thing that seems to move the needle has been applying pressure publicly. Yes, absolutely. If privately doesn't work, in real talk, the best way is to go public about it. Just think about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation. There's no way that would be private. It would, and then it shows a tweet that Ray Fisher also put out. It would appear that WB has gone from giving libelous official statements to one media outlet to becoming a source of personal misinformation of any other. The people are on to you. The investigation is coming. Casting appreciations on me will not change that. A over E. Ray Fisher revealed one of the biggest changes challenges has been getting Warner Media to conduct a fair and impartial investigation, something that has taken such a Fisher's time to achieve. My team and I have been informed that the third party that was originally brought on to investigate Justice League has withdrawn from the case. The Warner Media has since informed me and my team that the investigator purposely lied to us about the investigation. We've asked the Warner Media to relay this information to the public and retract Warner Brothers' September 4th hit piece on me so we can clear the air and get the investigation back on track. They refused to do so, and so here we are. With the original investigation withdrawn, Fisher is optimistic with the new investigator that the new investigator will perform their duties impartially. The new investigator that Warner Media has brought on is the same one that did the final Kevin Tsujihara investigation before he was taken down. So this is the same person that this is the same investigator that really got rid of it. That was a key part in getting rid of Kevin Tsujihara. Fisher went on to further clarify that he is not alone and how the participation of old friends and newcomers, so probably people who also worked with Joss Whedon and WB are also involved, and came together for a single purpose: accountability. I have got witnesses that are willing to be interviewed. They're just waiting for my go-ahead that it's safe to do so. So really, once again, there are more people. They're just waiting for it to be safe for them to come out. Outside witnesses, Fisher has the backing of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Arts. SAG-AFTRA, as he said, has been a part of just about every conversation we've had with Warner Media and has been pushing to get them to do the right thing. Despite the myriad challenges in this way, Fisher remains hopeful yet cautious about his road ahead. In a business as notoriously legitist as Hollywood, the fact that I haven't received so much as a cease and desist letter should tell you something. Now, for those who don't know what he's talking about, a cease and desist is something that a person can do if they do claim that something is very falsified or lying about. Think Jason, that one dude who said that Jason Momoa basically is a child molester, and Jason Momoa came out and arrested the dude because he was straight up lying. That is basically what a cease and desist is. And the people involved know I'm telling the truth. They're just looking for a way to migrate the globe back, to minimize the blowback for themselves. Warner Media knows I don't have the financial abilities to stand up to them in court. Emmerich, Whedon, and the other guys probably do. My guess is that Warner Media is looking for the lesser of two lawsuits, meaning like a civil court lawsuit where no one gets to go to jail. Fisher knew the responsibility on his shoulders was massive. Not only is his career at risk, but those who have joined his efforts and are participating in the investigation are at risk as well, Fisher claims. Fisher made it a personal mission to shield them. So he's trying to protect these people. That's why no one else has really come out and said anything else other than Jason Momoa. He's trying to protect them. The people that have shared their stories with me put themselves at great risk, both personally and professionally. I will protect them at any cost. Hollywood is one of the most regulatory businesses in the world. One word of you being difficult or uncooperative could be the end of your career, especially if you're black. Fisher fully realized that there are people there that don't believe him, whether it's because they're fans of John's and Whedon's work. They take the studio's word over his, or they simply don't understand the full story. To them, Fisher had frank words. You really have to ask yourself, what is more plausible, that I would personally torpedo my career making statements about powerful figures in Hollywood that, if untrue, I could be easily refuted, or a handful of people in positions of power said and did terrible things, in other words, in order to maintain that power during a massive corporate merger. Now, for that question to you, I want you to put that in the comments to see what you think. While Fisher was candid about his frustration with the studio, he was still clear that he is not at war with the entire studio. I am not in a fight with Warner Brothers, Fisher's side. I'm in a fight with a handful of people that are attempting to use Warner Brothers to cover their tracks. All the significant film and TV work I have done has been under the Warner Media banner. I love what I do and I've been blessed to do it with. And really, once again, like, he's not going at WB, he's going at those three guys. He's going at a handful of people. So, to Fisher, the most important thing is making sure accountability is carried to all parties involved, and not just easier targets in their investigation. Regardless of how I feel about folks involved, I'm not interested in people being allowed to dogpile and scapegoat easy targets. As for his end goal, Fisher expressed that the point of all the blood and sweat and tears. My goal is to have these people not be the decision makers for the content that influences our world. These guys have been in Hollywood for a long time. their problematic behavior didn't start with the AT&T merger, but I'll be damned if it doesn't end with it. Now, there you go. He is trying to get these guys not fired, even though that is most likely to happen, but he doesn't want these guys to make decisions in Hollywood. Fisher ends most of his tweets with these days with accountability over entertainment. And it's clearly a guiding principle behind his actions, risk to be damned. I'm not too worried about the consequences. I'm well aware that's what's at stake. If people don't want to work with me because I'm refusing to tolerate abusive behavior, and the cover-up culture of old Hollywood, then so be it. If nothing else, I'm going to go out of this business the way I came in, free and of my own volition. Can you dig that? So, yeah, there you go. This whole article, you can see that Ray Fisher Ray Fisher is clearly a dude who has been through this and really is caring about what is going on in Hollywood. He cares about people that were wronged, and basically, if you want to say this, it's basically him going against the politics of old Hollywood and wanting a fair shot at Hollywood and also other people as well. So this article, as you can see reading this, he clearly knows what he's doing, and he's been through this before. So, Ray Fisher, I'm with you. The Snyder Cut movement is with you. And with that, this video is done, and I stand with Ray Fisher, and yeah, today was a good day. So tell me what you guys think about this video. Tell me what you think about everything, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.